Have you ever wondered how your vote counts in a general election? First off, you're not actually voting for a Prime Minister. Stick with me and I'll explain why. Instead, you're deciding who should represent you and your local area in Parliament. That local area is called a constituency, and there are 650 of them in the UK. Some are big, some are small, but each is made up of roughly the same number of voters, typically between 60 and 80,000. So, on election day, voters in each constituency choose one person from a list of candidates. Most of them are in a political party, but they don't have to be. The candidate with the most votes in each constituency wins. This system of voting is called first past the post, a term that comes from horse racing. All a candidate needs to be elected is to get more votes than any other candidate in their constituency. The winner then becomes a Member of Parliament, an MP. That means they get a seat in the House of Commons, where they can debate and vote on laws and check up on the government's work. But the seats are actually benches, and there's only space for about 430 of the 650 MPs to sit down at the same time. The way we elect our MPs explains why you hear a lot of talk about safe and marginal seats in the run-up to an election. A safe seat is one that a candidate from a certain party is likely to win, usually after they've been elected with a large majority last time. But a seat is never completely safe. Large majorities have been overturned. Now, a marginal seat is one where the result is likely to be much closer, and it's those marginal seats that are the most hotly contested during an election campaign. Okay, but what happens to your vote if you didn't back the winner? Put simply, nothing happens with it at all. At the last election, 14 million votes cast were for losing candidates. That's almost half of all the votes at that election. And what that means is that the share of votes each party gets on election day isn't the same as the number of seats it ends up with in Parliament. Take the 2015 general election. Conservative Party candidates got 37% of votes across the country, but it still ended up with over half the seats in Parliament. UKIP, on the other hand, only got one seat in the House of Commons, despite a national vote share of almost 13%. But whichever candidate does win on election day, they're supposed to represent everyone in their constituency, and not just the people who voted for them. So who gets to be Prime Minister then? That would usually be the leader of the party with the most MPs in Parliament. And what does the Prime Minister do? We'll leave that for another video.